Should euthanasia be legalized globally? Good morning, everyone. Today I invite you to reflect on one of the most profound and contentious issues of our time. Should euthanasia be legalized globally? This question sits at the intersection of ethics, law, medicine, and human rights, challenging us to confront the value of life, the nature of suffering, and the limits of personal autonomy. Euthanasia, often referred to as mercy killing, is the act of intentionally ending a person's life to relieve them of unbearable pain and suffering. It can be voluntary, where the patient consents, or non-voluntary, where the patient cannot provide consent, such as in cases of coma. While some countries, like the Netherlands, Belgium, and Canada, have legalized euthanasia under strict conditions, it remains illegal in most parts of the world. To approach this complex issue, let us examine it through three key lenses: the arguments for legalization, the concerns against it, and the ethical considerations that lie at the heart of the debate. Arguments for legalizing euthanasia. Let us begin with the case for legalization. At its core, euthanasia is about compassion and respect for individual autonomy. First, consider the alleviation of suffering. Modern medicine can work wonders, but it cannot always eliminate pain or restore dignity in the face of terminal illness. For some patients, life becomes a relentless cycle of suffering, with no hope of recovery. Shouldn't they have the right to choose a peaceful and dignified end rather than enduring prolonged agony? Second, euthanasia respects personal autonomy. Each individual has the right to make decisions about their own body and life, especially in circumstances where continuing to live feels unbearable. Denying this choice can be seen as an infringement on fundamental human rights. Third, legalizing euthanasia can provide a regulated and safe framework for its practice. In places where euthanasia is illegal, patients and families sometimes resort to desperate, unregulated measures that can cause additional harm. Legalization ensures that the process is transparent, ethical, and overseen by medical professionals. Arguments against legalizing euthanasia. However, the case against euthanasia is equally compelling and cannot be dismissed lightly. One major concern is the potential for abuse. Critics argue that legalizing euthanasia could create a slippery slope where vulnerable individuals such as the elderly, disabled, or those with mental illnesses might feel pressured to choose death to avoid being a burden on their families or society. Even with safeguards, there is a risk that euthanasia could be misused. Another concern is the sanctity of life. Many believe that life is inherently valuable, regardless of circumstances, and that no one has the moral right to end it. This perspective is often rooted in religious or philosophical beliefs that view life is a gift that must be preserved. Additionally, opponents worry about the message euthanasia sends to society. If we begin to accept the idea that some lives are not worth living, could this erode our commitment to caring for the most vulnerable? Instead of focusing on euthanasia, critics argue that we should invest in palliative care and mental health support to improve the quality of life for those who are suffering. Ethical considerations. At the heart of this debate lies a profound ethical question. How do we balance the value of life with the right to die? On one hand, euthanasia is an act of compassion. It allows individuals to escape unbearable suffering and die with dignity. On the other hand, it challenges us to consider whether we are crossing a moral boundary by taking life into our own hands. The key ethical principle is autonomy, the right of individuals to make decisions about their own lives. But autonomy is not absolute. It must be balanced with other ethical principles such as non-maleficence, do no harm, and justice, ensuring fairness and protecting the vulnerable. The global perspective. The question of global legalization adds another layer of complexity. Different cultures, religions, and legal systems have diverse perspectives on euthanasia. For example, in countries with strong religious traditions, euthanasia is often seen as morally unacceptable. In contrast, secular societies may prioritize individual rights over collective moral values. If euthanasia were to be legalized globally, it would require a nuanced approach that respects cultural diversity while establishing universal safeguards to prevent abuse. Striking a balance. So where do we go from here? The debate over euthanasia is not about choosing between life and death. It is about ensuring dignity, compassion, and fairness in the face of life's most difficult decisions. Legalization, if pursued, must come with strict safeguards. These could include requiring multiple medical opinions, ensuring the patient's consent is fully informed and voluntary, providing access to alternatives like palliative care. Transparency and accountability are essential to prevent misuse and protect vulnerable individuals. At the same time, we must continue to invest in improving end-of-life care. Euthanasia should never be seen as a substitute for compassionate medical care or societal support. Conclusion. In conclusion, the question of whether euthanasia should be legalized globally is not one with easy answers. It forces us to grapple with the deepest aspects of our humanity, our compassion, our fears, and our respect for life and death. As we navigate this complex issue, let us strive to create a world where every individual has the right to live and die with dignity, free from unnecessary suffering, and supported by a compassionate society. Thank you.